Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a message that we received, and the message, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? Can you please post my own story? Is anonymous. I am a woman who is married to a man who is like a millionaire, but I am trapped in darkness. I do listen to your programs and I follow it a lot. So when I started to listen to your programs, I was in search of someone who could assist me, but so far, nothing yet. I thought that maybe some other healers will be commenting in the comment section, hoping to get a couple of phone numbers. So I am a woman who is aged 42 years old. I do come from a very small town here in Nigeria, and then I moved from the village and I came to Lagos. So this was in search of work, and already one of my auntie had found a job for me. So from a very young age, I was someone who was considered to be a hard worker, and I was not into boys because I really wanted to take myself back to school since my parents had not afforded to take me to college. And when I came to the big city, that was when I was swallowed by the big city. For starters, I had another boy that I was dating, but this man ended up impregnating another woman, and still he said that he still wanted to marry me. And I was like, how can you marry me when you have told me and I have seen that there is another girl that you have impregnated? And he said that we were going to work things out. So not wanting to be the source of pain for another woman, I decided to let it go. And I said, no, go on your way and let me go on my own way. We have failed to start a life together. So after that, because of the pain that I felt, it was just too much for me. And then I decided to date a man who was a little bit older than I was, in which I ended up dating the friend who is my husband. So this man, he was pursuing me relentlessly. He would send me gifts and he would pay for my mother's hospital bills, even though he knew that I was dating his friend, and even helped my young brother to get a job. My family, they loved him because of his age, and they hated my original boyfriend because he was older than I was. They were like, people will say that you are a gold digger. Within months, he proposed love to me like he had always been doing, but this time around, he ambushed me. He asked me to take me to the village when I had told him that I was going to the village, and he said, let me accompany you. We bought a lot of groceries for my family. Well, at least he was there when we were seated around, and then he then proposed love to me in front of my mother. My mother said, my daughter, just accept his proposal, and that is when I accepted, and then we started to date. This happened when I was 26. At 26, I could not even believe my luck. I was marrying a millionaire, and this was like me securing a future for me, for my happiness, financial stability, and even for my own family. But during the days of our courtship, there were warning signs that were there. Like, he hated to be asked where he would have gone to. His life was very secretive about things that he used to do. He would never let me visit his office or to meet his other family members, like the close family members. And he had a room in his mansion that he kept locked at all the times, telling me that it was his prayer room. He told me that in that room there was only his Bible and a small mat that he used to kneel on when he would be praying and studying the Bible. But sometimes when I'll be sleeping over at his mansion, I would hear strange chants coming out from that room, especially late at night. When I would ask him about it, he'll be like, it is one of my friends. He texted me and he said that he wanted some time to spend some time with the Lord, and I allowed him access to that room, which was quite weird. So he said that that room was where he connected with God, but I should have listened to my instincts. I was blinded by love. I was blinded by money. The life that he was giving me, it was everything. He bought anything that I wanted, and I did not want to lose any of it, even though, like in love, when you are in love, sometimes you do fight. But when we would fight, he would always impress me with all of these wonderful gifts. Our problem started after I became pregnant for the first time. It seemed as if he was happy, and so was I. But at 5 months, I woke up in the middle of the night. There was too much pain, as if I was about to give birth. By the time that we got to the hospital, it was too late. I had lost the baby, and I could not even understand what was going on. They said that maybe it was stress, and I said, stress from where? I am married to a man that has a lot of money. Why the hell will I ever get any stress? I was perfectly happy and healthy. I told myself maybe it was just bad luck, or the witches from our village, they had managed to locate me. So is what my mother told me. So me and my husband, we moved on. He was a supportive man, telling me not to worry. Don't worry, my love, we will try again. We kept on trying. I became pregnant again. This time, I was extra careful. I followed all the doctor's advice, stayed on bed rest, avoided anything that could cause stress. But at 6 months, it happened again, another stillbirth. At that time, I was in pain. My whole world was like crashing down, and so was my husband. So I thought. By the time that I lost my third pregnancy, I knew that something was wrong. And even the doctors, they could not even know what was wrong with me. Like one doctor said, there is no medical reason for so many repeated stillbirth. That was when my nightmares began. Every night I would have a dream, and in this dream I will see someone that will be dressed up in demonic clothes that were like really dark. This man, he will be almost like a shadow standing over me, and he will be singing in a language that I could not even understand. When I would wake up screaming my husband's name, he will nowhere to be found. Then it was this other night, somewhere around 2 a.m. I could not sleep. I was just irritated. I then decided to go downstairs for a glass of water because I had been feeling thirsty for a very long time. So in my bedroom, we used to have this mini fridge. I opened it up and I cursed myself, for there was no water in there. Then I said, let me go downstairs. So as I was walking, I passed through his in court's prayer room. Then I heard voices, and I said, voices? Who is he talking to? Because as far as I knew, he was all alone, and he did not tell me that we were going to have any company. I said, maybe this man, he lies to me. He brings in all of these women and sleeps with them whilst he is pretending as if he is praying. So I then started to peek through the slightly opened door, and I saw my husband. He was kneeling on the floor. He was surrounded by candles, and in front of him there was a small altar, and on top of that altar there was a baby blanket, the one that had gone missing, in which me and my mother, we blamed the witches from the village. When I told my mom before the stillborn baby that I had, that I was missing one of my baby's blanket, when I saw this baby blanket that was on top of the altar, and a bowl that was filled with something and smoke coming out of that bowl, that was when he noticed that I was looking at him. He said, oh, my wife. And he was not even sorry, like inhuman, demonic. He had a demonic look when he was looking at me, and he said, my wife, you are not supposed to be here. You are not supposed to see this. I ran back to our bedroom. He then came back, not that same night, the next morning, acting like nothing had happened, even though I could not shake the image from my mind. He then said, do not tell your mom about this. To this very day, I don't have a child. And he said that this is what gives him wealth. I want to leave my husband, but he told me that now you know too much. If you try to run, I can't control what the spirits of the altar are going to do to you. I suspect that he will strike me with madness. So I tried to run. This was in 2023. I tried to confide in a childhood friend of mine, but did not tell her the full story. So I left Lagos and I went into hiding in a small town. But to my surprise, after a couple of days, he came and we woke up and we found out that he had his car parked outside waiting for me. I would not want to get my friend in trouble, so I had to leave. What hurts me the most is that my husband, he even says, if you get too bored with all of this money that I have, how about you get a playboy, someone that can remove all of your stress? He does not mind me cheating. I have not done it, no. The only thing that I did was to buy myself some sex toys because I get so lonely. It get like really, really lonely. I do not want to bring another man into my life, even though he has encouraged me to do that, because there are so many days that he is not even allowed to touch me. If I can think about last year, it was the toughest in my marriage. I spent the whole day, only slept with my husband, I think only 2 times. All the other times, he was not allowed to sleep with me. So I am someone that is starved sexually and spiritually as well. To pray, it has become very hard for me because after using all of my sex toys, then I want to go on my knees and I find no strength at all. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to us by one of our admin. Please, sister, try to throw away all of those sex toys that you are using, because they are the ones also that are contributing to all of this spiritual loneliness, because you cannot be lonely spiritually knowing that your creator is out there. Let us try to speak with her in the comment section.